to the Break for Moms. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast. We're going to talk together and chat hopefully with some live viewers today all about being healthy and helping your kids to stay healthy. So this is specifically for moms and for your kids so that you can set out to be healthier in the new year. So I am so glad that you're here and enjoy the show. So today we're talking all about being healthier. And if you're like me, you probably feel like there's a lot of pressure with everything that you see in the media and on social media especially about eating healthier, taking better care of yourself. We are in the age where everybody wants to live forever, right? Myself included, of course. But, everybody ages, everybody gets older. At some point, everybody gets sick. So you just have to do the best that you can. So I've got some easy tips for you today to help yourself as a mom take care of yourself and be healthier this new year. And also some tips for helping your kids be healthier. And this doesn't just have to do with eating healthier and maintaining a healthy weight, exercise. It doesn't just have to do with physical health. It also has a lot to do with mental health and overall stress level of your family, and so many things can be incorporated into your overall well-being. So we're going to talk all about that today, and I hope that you will call in and try to chat with me. If you would like to call in, make sure you are watching the show via the Bidchat app. If you don't have the Bidchat app, after the show, don't miss the show right now, but after the show, you can go to either the App Store for Apple devices or the Google Play Store, and you can actually download that Bidchat app for free. And when you have that app, all you have to do is create an account. You just put in your email address and create a username and password, and then you can call into any show, and it's free right now, which is awesome. And so think Skype live. So face to face, I'm here. You would be off in the corner, and all of our audience members would be watching both of us. Does that sound scary? Hopefully not, because it's actually really, really fun. So I hope that you will do that today. And of course, if you have tips for me about health and wellness for your family, I would love for you to comment and share those with me, or you can share them with me on social media at The Break for Moms on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also comment via the show blog, which is at www.thebreak4moms.com. Make sure you use the number 4 in all of those titles. That's very important. Otherwise, you might get something else that's not me and not the show. Anyhow, thanks so much for tuning in. So let's talk a little bit. Let's start out with a little icebreaker here. If you are just tuning in as a Bidchat viewer for the first time today, let me tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about the show, my motivation for the show. And then I'll talk about a little funny story before I get into our main topic of the day. So Bidchat is a social media network for live streamers. And I found out about this company almost a year ago now. It was last April, I believe, last March or April. And I was feeling like I wanted to do something for other moms. I was a mom at home, stay-at-home mom, and currently a work-at-home mom. But I was feeling very lonely and like I wanted to connect with other moms. I just felt overwhelmed, and I just felt like I didn't have time to get out and socialize like I wanted to. So I thought, what if I created some type of digital platform where moms specifically could connect? So the Break for Moms was born, and back in September of 2016, the show launched, and it is going strong. And little by little, I'm hoping to connect with more and more moms eventually across the whole globe. So if you know a mom that is feeling a little bit lonely, or maybe just wants to connect with other moms and meet other moms, or gain advice and resources from someone else, this is the show. This is the show for you. This is the show for your friends, for your family. Please share it. That's the only way that this show will grow, is if you share it with others. And of course, my main goal is not to be here as an expert. This is just an open platform for discussion, and I respect all viewpoints. So whatever your viewpoint and whatever your own experiences are, I would love to have you call in to the show. So now that I've said that, I want to let you know that I'm be running a little contest. And so far, I'm not doing very well with this contest because I don't have any participants. I need you to call into the show in order to participate. And if you do call into the show, just to say hello, you don't have to be an expert or someone who is a veteran live streamer. Just call in, talk to me, and we'll chat on whatever topic I'm talking about at the moment when you call in. It's free. And from calling in, I will enter you into a drawing. And at this point, because I'm not really getting any callers, I'm going to say this today, and I'm going to hold to this for the rest of the month. And next month, too, if I don't get any callers right away. 10 callers. I need 10 different callers to call into the show. And one out of those 10 is going to win a free t-shirt from me with the Break for Moms logo on it. I don't have the t-shirt right in front of me here. I meant to put it on the couch with me, but I forgot. But anyhow, it's a cute little clock, and you can see it on my profile picture, the cover art on the main Bidchat profile for the Break for Moms, and it shows a little cartoon version of me holding a clapboard, and on that clapboard is this clock. So the clock is the actual logo for the show, and it's a clock because when I think of taking a break, I think of having me time. And because it's called the Break for Moms with the number 4, that clock is pointing to the number 4. It's very, very cute and feminine. So obviously, probably wouldn't be something that would interest a dad. But of course, dads are welcome to watch the show. So if you know any dads that want to learn and gain some resources for parenting, feel free to invite them as well. As also, you can invite seasoned moms, more seasoned parents that maybe you would like to call in and share their own tips and advice and experience as a more seasoned parent, as well as new moms or moms to be, or teachers or nannies or anyone else that deals with children that could benefit from the topics that I present on the show. Anyhow, I just want to plug that and plug the t-shirt so you have an extra motivation to call into the show today. Okay, with that, I need to tell you a funny story. Okay, so I actually have a few funny stories. The first one is about my 18-month-old little girl. And if you're on Instagram, you can watch this little video. But my 18-month-old just recently learned how to say the names of my 2 other older children. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then my 18-month-old. So the 18-month-old is talking up a storm now. She's saying all kinds of things and repeating pretty much everything I say, or at least trying to. She tries really, really hard. So she finally figured out how to say my son's Troy's name. And she says it so clearly and slowly. It's just so cute. She says, Troy. I'm actually going to show you the video because it doesn't sound very cute with me saying it. But if I show you the video, you will think it's very cute. So I'm just going to pull up my Instagram. So, and this is the show Instagram profile. See, there's me. So, oops, can you see it? The Break for Moms. So if you see my picture, that's me. And that's the show profile on Instagram. Okay, so here's this little video. I don't have software working to implement video within the show yet. That's my goal. So here's this video. Oops, let's make it so you can hear it.
Who's this over here? Who's your sister? Can you say Gigi? Say Troy. Good girl. Very good. Okay, bye. Bye.
So as you can see, she's talking very, very clearly. I just thought that was so funny the way she said it so slowly. And she said it, oops, now I can't stop it. Stop. Okay. And she said it over and over again, which was so cute. And now she just wants to say his name all the time. And of course, my second daughter's name is Giada, but that's very hard for an 18-month-old to say. So she says Gigi. That's what we're trying to get her to say at home, Gigi or Giada. So anyhow, if you want to see more cute little family moments on Instagram, just follow me and the show at the Break for Moms on Instagram, okay? And you will see much more. I am currently enjoying Instagram. I'm new to it, so I'm having some fun with posting on there and meeting a ton of new moms. If you are not on Instagram, it is another great way to connect with other people. Even if you're not big into photography, posting photography or videos, it's just really been a great platform for me to reach out and meet moms across the globe. And I feel really inspired when I see what other moms are doing. And it has been a good starting point in me feeling motivated to continue to do this show, as well as Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter because you can learn so much from other people on Twitter. It's not just about chatting about mindless things. There are a lot of people doing a lot of really great things on Twitter, and there are a lot of mom bloggers that are blogging about all kinds of helpful resources for parents like you and I. So anyhow, thought I would plug that. Okay, let's move right along. Before we get into today's topic, I want to talk to you about some celebrity mom and baby news. So, if you are a Dancing with the Stars fan, then you probably saw that Maxim and PETA had their first child finally. I was waiting and watching on the news, and I found out that they had a boy, and his name is, I gotta read this because I can't remember how to say it. His name is Shy, spelled Shai, kind of different. I'm assuming that that is an ethnic name. Anyhow, I had no idea how to spell it. So I typed in how to pronounce and then I typed Shai. And did you know there's actually a website called pronouncenames.com? So if you ever come across someone's name, maybe someone that you work with, or if you're a teacher and you have a new student, you don't know how to say their name, or anybody else that you've met that maybe has an ethnic name or a name that you weren't sure how to pronounce, you don't have to ask them. You can go to pronouncenames.com. And anything that I mention on the show, I'm not being paid to mention. I just simply am sharing things because I find them interesting or helpful. So anyhow, pronouncenames.com helped me to figure that out. Kind of interesting how there's a website for everything now, isn't there? So anyways, it was funny because PETA posted on her Instagram, and PETA and Maxim, if you don't watch Dancing with the Stars, they are two of the professional dancers that work with celebrities and teach them how to dance on the show. Anyhow, PETA posted from her hospital that she was putting on some makeup before delivering the baby, which is funny because I did the same thing with my first child and my second child because I had an epidural. So I was very, very comfortable and I put on makeup and you would have never known. And I'm not saying this bragging, it was because the epidural was so effective for me that you would have never known that I was about to have a baby. And not to say the picture didn't show me with big belly or anything. It was just kind of for the waist up. But I was very calm and relaxed. Anyhow, that was my birthing experience. Not every birthing experience is like that. I respect that. I understand that. Anyhow, I thought it was interesting that she was comfortable and calm and relaxed enough to put on makeup as well, because not everyone feels that way. But I'm glad that she had a good experience. Anyhow, let's talk about today's main topic, which is maintaining a healthy lifestyle as both a mom and helping your kids to maintain a healthier lifestyle in the year 2017. So if you go on Facebook or you watch the news, I feel like there are constantly these scare tactics to make you feel like you've got to change everything in your diet and you've got to avoid this and avoid that because this causes cancer and that's going to make you gain weight. And you've got to do the paleo diet or the gluten free, or you got to do this or that, or avoid GMO. All of these things. And if you do one of those things and that helps you, that's great. But for the people like me that get overwhelmed easily, I'm going to tell you that you don't have to change everything. Just a few simple changes in the new year that are very, very easy to do can make a big difference. So breathe a sigh of relief. It's okay. You don't have to change everything. You can still eat pizza if you want to eat pizza. You don't have to change your whole lifestyle. So these are some tips that I abide by and use in my home. And I think they're really helpful and they're easy to do. And I think that you might be interested in trying them as well. And certainly, if you have your own tips or suggestions, feel free to call into the show or reach out to me on social media and let me know. I would love to hear from you. You can also email me about any show topic or if you have an interest in appearing on the show in the future at Nicole, Nicole, at thebreakformoms.com. Make sure you use the number 4. Okay, so here are my tips. Number 1, and this is not about eating. This is not about diet. This is about maintaining a healthy overall lifestyle in terms of your overall well-being. It is very important not to be overscheduled this year. And I say that as a mom, and I say that for your kids as well. If you have older kids that are in a variety of activities, ask yourself, do your kids have time to breathe? Do they have one night a week where they're at home and they can just sit and do nothing? I understand they may have homework to do. But other than that, is there a night where they're not eating on the go and they can relax at home and you can sit as a family and just read a book or watch a movie or just do something relaxing? You don't have to overschedule your kids. They don't have to be in every activity. Pick one or two or even three that are your favorites. Do not put your kids in everything. I beg you, because that is a surefire way to make your kids feel overwhelmed. And when they get overwhelmed, they get stressed, they're more prone to colds, and they're going to be less happy. And all of that feeds off of your overall, emotional and physical well-being. So keep that in mind. And as moms, oftentimes we tend to be overtaxed. We tend to take on too many things. We want to help other people. We want to help our kids. We want to volunteer. We are working maybe inside the home, outside the home, or maybe we're stay-at-home mom, but we're involved in a lot of volunteer work or helping another family in need in some way, whether it's babysitting our kids or doing something else. Learn to say, no, don't take on too much. That's my number one tip. If there ever was a number one tip, it would be that. And that's easy to do. It doesn't cost you any money. It's just changing the way you're thinking and allowing yourself to not try to compete with other people and allowing yourself time to breathe. And part of the show, it's called The Break for Moms because I want moms to take a break. You need to take a break. I need to take a break. And this show actually forces me to take a break because if I didn't have this show, I might not get 1 hour to myself all day. Right now, my two older kids are in school. Well, my middle child is actually at daycare, but it's at the same building as my son's school, which is really, really nice. So I don't feel like it's daycare. I feel like she's going to school, even though she's only 3. And she was so excited about going. And she needed the break from the house. I needed a little break from her once a week to just be able to get some things done. Um, my lowest one is sleeping right now. So this is a very sacred time for me. And I'm sharing it with you because I feel like it's so important to reach out to other moms to let you know you're not alone and that you need to feel encouraged and supported. And of course, my main motto here is that moms need to take a break. Okay. So tip number 1, take a break, have time to rest, don't overschedule yourself. Okay. And number 2, and I'm looking at my notes here because I want to make sure I don't forget anything because these are good tips and they're easy tips. That's what's most important, easy to do. Okay, so talking about health and diet, probiotics, that's number 2 on the list, I would say, number 2, because it affects your health and your kids' health in so many ways. So when you think about probiotics, you can either take a probiotic, an actual pill, or you can cheat and do something that's a lot cheaper and probably more effective than an actual pill probiotic or a powdered probiotic. For kids, sometimes they're in powder form. Okay, kefir. So many people have never heard of kefir. Nobody's paying me to say this. I just like it. My husband actually introduced me to it. It is like yogurt and a smoothie combined. And I stock up on a big container of these from Costco, and they come in different flavors, or you can have it plain if you want to add it to a smoothie. But this one is blueberry flavored, so it has a little bit of sugar in it, not a ton. But it has all kinds of different probiotics. It says contains 15 to 20 billion, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different kinds. I don't know if you can see that close. Sorry, there's a little bit of glare because I have light. But there's 12 different kinds. It says 12. Yeah, you can see the 12. Okay. And how kefir is great because it's natural. And it is the purest probiotic form versus getting a supplement where there may be other things added in there and maybe it won't be processed as quickly as something that you're ingesting that's not in a pill form. Now, I am not a doctor. Please, if you have questions, consult your doctor. This is not official health advice. These are just recommendations for helping to improve your health from one mom to another. So kefir is great. It helps with digestion. If you have kids that have digestive issues, it can help them. It can help you as well. Help with regularity. And of course, it's just a good part of the healthy diet. It fills you up. And there are a ton of calories in it, and it's got a little bit of good fat in it. Dairy can have good fat, not all dairy is bad. And it's just another way to supplement other vitamins and minerals, of course, by having those probiotics and just helping overall with digestion. It can help with weight loss for moms that might be interested in that because if you're intaking um, diet that is rich in fiber and your digestive system is working good with the probiotics, then that can help take off some weight that maybe you have stuck on you. So anyhow, that's a big one. And my family and I noticed a big difference from drinking kefir. So I thought I'd share that with you. If you haven't heard of it before, it's called Kefir, kefir. Check it out. Okay. So drinking water, right? Okay, I've got a water bottle right next to me here. Okay, I drink a lot of water, but not as much as I should. So I'm working on it for the new year. But here's what you need to know about water. Timing is important as well as drinking water in general. Okay, so a big glass of water in the morning before you start your day, before you eat, and at least one big glass of water right before you go to bed is good because that helps with digestion while you're sleeping. Your body is recovering and repairing, as well as in the morning when you first wake up before you start eating. Just helps with digestion throughout the day. So if you're not going to drink water all day, maybe drink milk, pop, juice, whatever. I'm not going to condone you for that. You are an adult. You can make your own choices. But if you are going to just drink a couple glasses of water a day at least, make sure you do it in the morning and first thing in the evening right before you go to bed. I think that makes a very big difference. Okay, so we talked about overscheduling, don't overschedule, probiotics, water, and let's talk a little bit about exercise a minute, okay? Exercise. So it's important for our kids to get exercise. It's important for us to get exercise, but you don't have to necessarily run a marathon, okay? There are many different forms of exercises. Being active, you can get your kids involved. Last week I talked about New Year's resolutions and how it's important to get your kids involved so that you're more likely to succeed in accomplishing those resolutions and making real progress in change. So exercise with your kids. If you have older kids, try to exercise with your kids on a regular basis, even if it's just 3 times a week. It's very important that after school, kids aren't just sitting on the couch, just like it's important that you're not sitting on the couch when you get home from work or, if you're home all day, making sure you have time to get up and move around. And exercise is important not just for losing weight or, certain body image. Exercise is so important for your mental health. And I feel like it's part of the idea of taking a break as a mom and having me time, that exercise is part of that. And I used to be an avid exerciser. After I had my kids, I stopped exercising. I felt like it impacted my overall sense of well-being. I felt like I just was kind of depressed and it wasn't about weight. I'm a very petite person naturally, and I feel like whatever I eat, I just have a fast metabolism. But I feel like when I exercise, I just feel better throughout the day. I don't feel so tired. I feel more motivated to do things. I just feel happier in general. It gets the blood moving. It just gets everything in your body working the way it's supposed to work. So if you aren't exercising and you're feeling sluggish, even if you exercise and you don't lose any weight, there are so many other benefits beyond body image that go with exercising. So keep that in mind. Next time you hear someone talking about exercise, you think, oh, great, exercise, I gotta be sweating, I gotta do this, I gotta work out so hard that I'm exhausted. No, just any kind of movement that just gets the blood going a little bit. It doesn't have to be a long time. Anything is better than nothing. Okay, so I made this really easy for you. Okay, those are just about 4 simple tips. And, extending on that in terms of your kids, we talked about eating healthy, um, with your kids. The kefir is great for kids. You can also add probiotics and smoothies to get them to eat more veggies. Smoothies is a big thing that we do in our house for our kids. And I'm telling you, my kids, the minute I get the blender out, they see me throwing handfuls, and I mean handfuls, like half a 12-ounce container of spinach I put into a blender. And then I add probiotics, I add kefir smoothie. Sometimes I just add plain kefir that has absolutely no sugar or flavor at all. And then I add the fruit. And you can't even tell that the plain kefir is in there. It still tastes sweet because of the fruit. And it's really healthy. I don't have to worry so much about how many servings of fruits and vegetables my kids get at dinner time or at lunchtime because they got it in that smoothie. And it's very easy to do. You just need a blender, cheap one. You don't have to have anything fancy. You don't have to have a juicer or anything like that. And fruit doesn't even have to be organic. Don't worry about all that. Just start by making small improvements. I get really overwhelmed when I start thinking about, where I'm buying the groceries and is it organic or not? Does it have GMO? Just forget about all that. You'll really overwhelm yourself. Okay, if you're like me and you're just kind of getting started with improving your health and improving the health of your family, just start small. Okay, so for kids, smoothies are a great way to incorporate more fruits and vegetables. And also, this tip I read online somewhere, I don't remember what the source was, but zucchini. Zucchini is one of those vegetables where if you dice it and chop it up really, really small, you can actually throw it in with ground beef and cook it, and no one will know it's even there unless they actually physically see it. But if you're making enchiladas or tacos, or I mean, maybe even hamburger or something, you can mix it right in there, and people will not know it's in there and you've added a vegetable because there's so much water in zucchini. It just kind of melts into whatever that you make. And I would assume the same would go for squash or other vegetables that have a lot of water in them that would have a soft texture when you eat them. You can kind of mix vegetables in with other foods that kids like to get them to sort of, I don't want to say hide it in there. You can tell them it's in there, but if they don't taste it, then, they don't really care. Sometimes kids just seeing it, then they suddenly don't like something. So you can tell them it's there, but if they don't see it, then maybe they're more likely to eat it that way. I don't know. I'm just a parent just like you. But that has worked in my household, and I do it with enchiladas because I like Mexican food, and my kids do too. So sometimes I make chicken enchiladas, sometimes I make beef. But when I make the beef, I dice up zucchini really, really small. I have one of those onion chopper things that one of those as seen on TV things. So you can literally like slice the zucchini and then put it in this thing, and the chopper dices it really, really small so that you don't have to do it by hand. Anyhow, you cook that right in with the meat, with the raw meat, and it cooks up really nice, and you barely see that the zucchini is there. So those are some tips for kids as well. And again, I want to emphasize that number one, downtime for you as a mom and for your kids. That's so important this new year. So make that a goal for you to not be so overscheduled, to learn to say no. And I think that you will be a positive influence on your own friends and family because saying no and taking time for yourself is one of those things that most moms have a hard time with. It sounds crazy. It sounds like such a simple thing to correct, but our society tells us that we have to be go, go, go all the time and do, 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 and we don't. We don't have to do that. And I need to take that advice as well. I have slowed down a lot. If you saw me 10 years ago, I was a very fast paced teacher who was one of those people that was the last to leave the building half the time. I was on every committee that you could think of, and I just didn't know how to say no. And eventually it did impact my health. So I had to make some changes a long time ago, and I stuck with those changes, and I feel like I've done so much better for making those changes. Anyhow, I want to pause for a moment. Thank you for all the people who have given me thumbs up. That makes me so happy. It's instant feedback from me. But I want to invite you again if you have time and you are using the Bidchat app right now. You can call in for free. All you have to do is click on the circle. It's red and it has that fancy Bidchat logo, which is the B. It kind of looks like a sideways heart. It's kind of funny like that. And it's the circle. And if you don't see that and you're using the Bidchat app, try just like clicking on the live stream video that you see right now, and it should pull that up. There should be like a menu that comes down. If you're on my main profile page, you might have to just like click the Bidchat icon, and then it'll pull up and say at the bottom somewhere, join. Click to join the show, and you can click on that, and you can call in. I would love to meet you and hear about your mom's story or dad's story if you're a dad. Or maybe you're just a random viewer that's not a mom or a dad, but you're on Bidchat and you're curious and you're watching my show. I am so happy to have you today, and I'd love to meet you, regardless of who you are, where you're from. But I want to know about you because I'm talking about my life and I'm sharing some things that have helped me in my life. But I want to hear from you and hear what your tips are. You are just as important as me and what I have to say. I see the auction clock running. Hi, Maria. I hope this works for you to call in. My friend Maria, I'm going to give a shout out to her and brag about her a little bit. My friend Maria is on a show called Trending with Maria and me, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to watch another great show, Maria is your gal. She is hosting for the next month. Me and her friend, I think, is taking some time off. But she does a great job, and she talks about trending issues in politics, and I think you would really enjoy her show. So she's going to connect with me now. You can see how this Bidchat calling system works. Hi, Maria.
Hey, what's
How
going
are
on?
you?
Am I upside down, Nicole?
No, you're not.
Perfect.
And I just extended your call.
Yay, this is so fun.
Yes, thank you for calling in. Give me a health tip. What has helped you and your family?
No, I had a question for you because I
Sure.
completely get trying to not do so much as a mom, trying to say no, but then you feel guilty and you have to come up with an excuse right quick if someone approaches you and says, hey, can I count on you to do X? And if it's not just money, if it's time, do you lie or do you say, do you have one liner like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm overwhelmed? Or do you make up specific things prior to just have? Because when someone corners you, Nicole, I don't want to lie, and sometimes you do have time, but like you said, it's break time for me. I want to hold, a block of 3 hours a day to do laundry and dust. And if my car breaks down, if it's low on, air, I need to build in just time that I don't give away.
Right. I think, I don't have one specific thing that I say, but in my mind, I think of my sacred time as something scheduled almost like a job. So if you think about it, if someone asked you to do something and you had to work at a certain time, it would be an instant conflict and you would say, no, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm busy at that time. So treat your me time as scheduled time too, like a job. And you don't have to tell them. I don't even think you owe people an explanation sometimes. We feel like we need to explain why we can't. But I think it's okay to just say, oh, I wish I could, but I'm not able to.
Right. And that's my problem is not feeling like I have to convince them I have something super important to do, and that's why I can't do that. I need to practice what you're saying, just saying, I can't because I'm busy at that time. I have a prior engagement or something, and not have it look like on my face.
Right. Oh, sorry. Call back in again if you want to continue. That's a good question. And you know what? Maria, hopefully she'll call back in again. The thing with telling people no is you don't owe them an explanation. And, if you do want to give them an explanation, it's okay to just say, hey, you know what? I've been helping a lot of people out lately, or, I just haven't had a lot of time for myself. I've been really busy lately, and I'm just not able to do it. I tell people no all the time. I am not a yes person anymore, and I don't feel bad about it. And, if people don't take your yes as valuable or your no is valuable, whatever it may be. If you say yes, you can do something. If you say no, you can't, and they don't respect that, then you may have to distance yourself from those people. If it's somebody specific that's asking you for things that you don't want to do. But of course, it may just be within a job where you feel like you need to impress people by taking on more things, or maybe it's just your own personal self-pressure. That's when you may have to actually schedule me time in a planner and say, hey, every Monday night, I am going to read at the end of the day, or I'm just going to be with my kids and play games with them. Literally, like, not be on my phone, not be doing work on the computer. I'm just going to play with my kids on Monday nights, and make sure, just carve out certain time where you're going to allow yourself to just relax and be and not think about other things, and, not have yourself stretched too thinly, because I think oftentimes, especially as parents, because we're not just taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our kids as well, it's very easy to get stretched too thin. And I feel like in our society, I feel like I had a hard time connecting with other moms in the past because I felt like they were stretched too thin. I would call my friend and say, hey, what are you doing next week? And they would have to get out their calendar, some of my friends, and schedule to meet with me for an hour for coffee a month in advance. What is our society coming to that we don't have an hour for a friend? No wonder we're feeling so lonely. No wonder so many moms are feeling overwhelmed and depressed because they can't get together with anybody because everybody's too busy. What happens when you have a problem and you just want to sit down with a friend for 5 minutes and just talk? The phone is there, social media is there, but sometimes those face-to-face interactions are priceless. And I don't think anything else compares with that. I think about my parents growing up and the fact that they used to sit with their neighbors on the porch. I don't even know most of my neighbors, or if I do, we're just passing acquaintances. I don't know their schedules. If I had to have a package delivered and I wasn't going to be home, I don't feel comfortable enough to ask a neighbor to get my package for me. That's the kind of relationship I have with my neighbors. And it's not because they're not nice people. It's just they're busy. It's in and out of the car. You know, people pull up to their driveway, the garage door goes up, they pull in, the garage door goes down, and that's all that you see of them. And that's kind of the way our society is, but it doesn't have to be that way. And you can be the one to make the change and influence other moms, other parents, other kids even, because there are so many kids that I saw when I used to teach piano. I'm a former music teacher. And kids would come for their piano lesson and they would just break down and cry because they were so tired because their parents had them in dance and sports and music lessons and scholastic clubs after school. You name it, they were in it. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. It was just too much. It's great to have a well-rounded child, but sometimes it's too much. So take time to just look in your kid's eye, look at them sincerely and say like, hey, are you still having fun? Do you feel like you have enough time to do whatever you want to do? Sometimes kids just need to have creative play at home. This goes for little kids as well as older kids that maybe just want to doodle in a notebook or, do something else creative on the computer with technology or just reading a book or journaling or scrapbooking, anything that older kids might want to do. It's so important. It's okay to have downtime. Downtime is just as important as that scheduled time, that academic time that we think is so important for our kids. So keep that in mind and don't underestimate the value of that downtime. And hopefully, maybe Maria will call back in again. And that was such a great question. So if any of you have any more questions for me, I'd love for you to call in. And of course, don't treat me like the expert. I'm just kind of the sounding board and the person to just jumpstart the conversation. That's what this show is about. It's not about me being the expert mom. I have so much to learn. I'm a mom of 3, but I still have so much to learn. My kids are little still. So, of course, any seasoned parent would be more than welcome to call into the show and give me some advice because I need it. I definitely need it. Being a mother and being a parent is the hardest job in the world. And, it's a roller coaster. There are some days where I feel like I've got this. And there are other days where I feel really overwhelmed, like I just want to hit reset and start over again. And I'm sure you have those days as well. So this show, just as much as it is about you taking some time, taking a break, and networking with other moms and other parents, is also a place for you to connect and talk about your struggles, ask questions, share advice, share tips. It's like an online friendship. So I'm so excited that all of you are watching today. We have 124 viewers, which is just so impressive to me because I just started the show back in September, and it's amazing to see how things are growing. And I hope that they continue to grow, not just because I want my show to grow, but because I want to reach out to other parents and other moms. And I really do want to connect with you. So if you can figure out how to call into the show, that would be awesome because as you saw when Maria called it, it's so much fun to connect with people on Bidchat. And it's just like Skype, but everybody else gets to watch too. So if you call in with a question and we talk about your question, other people benefit from that question and answer as well. Or if you call in and share your own advice with me, then everybody else benefits. So don't think of it as something scary where you're on stage. Think of it as a way for others to benefit live from what you're saying. And I think what every mom and every parent has to say is so important. Um, you don't have to be an expert in any particular field. Just being who you are is important, it's special, and it's interesting. That's the reality of live streaming and this type of show, is that you're connecting with people all over the world, and you never know who you're going to help when you speak out on the show. So I feel that way as well. It's 1:39, so we have 21 more minutes left. So again, I'm going to invite you one more time if you'd like to call into the show. You have to use the Bidchat app. And if you don't have that app downloaded, you can download it for Apple devices or Android devices through the App Store or the Google Play Store. And it's free to download that app, and it's also free to call into the show. So keep that in mind. It doesn't cost you anything but a few minutes of your time. All you have to do is create a username and a password and put in your email address. So if you're okay with that, then you are ready to call with your smartphone or your mobile device into the show and chat with me because I'd love to meet you and hear your story. So I told you a little bit about my mom's story. I am a mother of 3 kids, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. My youngest is 18 months. The 6th, a couple days ago. Anyhow, I was struggling with feeling lonely at home, so that's how the show was created, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show. But I want to tell you again because there are some new viewers that weren't tuning in at the beginning, so I want to make sure everybody hears my story about why I created the show. And I am live here every Monday on Bidchat at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Now, maybe you have some friends and family that want to watch the show, but they're working during that time, or they're in a part of the globe where they're sleeping, or they have something else going on, another commitment, or they're not able to watch it that time. Relax. It's okay. You can still watch the show. The good news is that all of the videos on Bidchat are archived, and they're saved on my profile within the show page here. And I post those videos onto the official show blog, which you can find by going to www.thebreakformoms.com. And if you subscribe there, which I'm hoping that you will do, you will get the archived videos and any extra tips and resources that I share on the show. I'll write a little blog post about those and put the video along with it, and you'll get that delivered to your inbox each week after the show. So you can watch at your leisure, and you can share it on social media. You can share it with your friends via email, or you can sit with a friend at your house and make that part of your time together as friends watching the show. I hope that you will spread the word about the show because I really do want to reach other moms, and I do think that there are a lot of other moms specifically that are feeling lonely and like they don't have a support system, especially because people are all so busy. Even if you're a working mom that's outside of the home and you have more of a connection with other people, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have time to talk with other people about your life, about what's going on with your family. And I know as moms, as a mom myself, it can get overwhelming and you've got to talk with other people and you've got to share in the journey. It takes a village to raise a child. I know that sounds very cliche, but it is so true. And I didn't discover this until I joined a mom's group, a support group for moms in my area. It's called Real Moms, and it's similar to a mom's group. But it's not just for mothers of preschoolers, it's for mothers of kids of all ages. And once I started this group and started talking with other moms, I felt so much better about myself and about my place and my role as a mom. I felt so much more significance, and I didn't feel like I was alone anymore. So I just really want to pay it forward to other moms that maybe don't have that opportunity to join a group, or maybe you moved to a new area and you don't know anyone, or for whatever reason you're just not able time-wise to connect with other moms. You're probably busy like most people, so I'm so glad you just took the time today to just sit and watch the show wherever you are, whether you're on the go watching from your phone or your mobile device, or you're sitting at home on your computer, whatever the case may be. I just want to say thank you one more time before I forget for taking a break from your daily routine to watch this show. And again, please share with your friends. So there are two ways that you can win a show t-shirt from me. And I'm going to mail it to 2 people. Once I can get enough participants, excuse me, I'm going to drink some of my water. Where is it? Speaking of water, I'm drinking some bottled water right now. Okay, sorry about that. My voice was getting a little bit dry. I am from Michigan, by the way, and it is cold and very dry here right now. Actually, the low was about 8 degrees the other day, so it's very, very cold. I don't like leaving the house. So connecting with other moms in the winter is sometimes a hassle when I have all 3 of my kids at home, because sometimes I do have all 3 of my kids at home. Even during the week, my oldest goes to kindergarten, but he only goes 3 days a week. So there are many days where all 3 of my kids are at home. And when I have to go out in 8-degree weather, it is a hassle. There are coats and boots and gloves and scarves. And I have to, warm up the car before I put the kids in. Earlier today, I just had my 18-month-old, and I actually went to Macy's because one of the Macy's stores by my house is going out of business. And on the way out of the store, I had a baby in a stroller, and I still call her baby. She's a toddler, but I still say baby. She'll always be my baby. Anyhow, I was pushing the stroller out of the store, and this big gust of wind with like little pellets of snow from the roof of the building, the mall, came blowing, and I mean, it just kept blowing and blowing. I thought it was actually snowing. It wasn't. It was just all these little particles of snow blowing from the roof and from the parking lot, and it was blowing right into my little girl's face. And I felt so bad that I had even taken her out of the house. And I thought, gosh, okay, I'm not doing any more than I have to this week while it's this cold, because just the look on her face broke my heart, because she was so cold, and it just literally blew right in her face, and she had snow pellets in her hair. I immediately took my scarf off of myself and just covered her face to the point where all it was showing was a little bit of her eyes because I felt so bad. Anyhow, if you're in a cold climate like that, then you know how hard it is to get out of the house, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom and you don't have a reason to get out of the house other than maybe going to the store and doing things. If it's not a requirement, then you're not going to do it, and that makes it hard to get out and socialize and do things, and that can make you feel a little depressed and lonely. So I feel you. I get it. So if you're one of those moms from a cold weather state, feel free to call in and tell me about your experiences and how you get yourself to get out of the house when it's really cold, because it is so cold in Michigan right now. I just don't want to do any more than I have to outside the home. Of course, I have to go and pick up my son from school later today, so I do have to get my kids in and out of the car, which I hate doing when it's cold because I have to take their coats off when I put them in the car seat, and then they're sitting in the car cold until I get the car warmed up. But there really isn't any other way to do it because you're really not supposed to have warm coats on, heavy coats with your car seats, as most of you probably know, because of safety reasons. Car seats aren't tested and made safe with those heavy coats on. You have to take those coats off in order for them to be secure in the car seat. Anyways, so that's just a little personal story about me and, a daily struggle that I have with connecting with other moms and getting out of the house because I live in a cold climate. And this time of year, it's very, very, very cold in Michigan. Anyhow, so back about the contest. I got a little bit sidetracked. Sorry. So you can win a free t-shirt. And if you look on the cover art on the show profile for the Break for Moms, you'll see this cartoon version of me holding a clapboard. And on the clapboard is this little clock. And that little clock is the official Break for Moms logo. And I chose a clock because I think of the Break for Moms as me time. This is me time. It's me time for me, and it's me time for you. It's a break. It's time to relax. It's time to just forget your cares and your worries and just come together with other moms and unite through this digital platform. And so that's the logo, the clock. And the clock points to the number 4. So it looks like 4 o'clock because 4 is in the title, the Break for Moms. And that's so that you don't forget 4 is in the title. So anyhow, that logo is a pinkish, coralish pink, and it's on a white t-shirt. And on the back has the website, the Bidchat website / so it says www.bidchat.com/thebreakformoms, so that you can share with other moms about this show. So one lucky caller is going to enter to win, is not going to enter, but one lucky caller will win that t-shirt. So far today I have Maria calling in. So if you would like to be entered, you need to call into the show. It's free to call in, and I will automatically enter you. And once I get 10 callers, and I don't care if it takes me 10 weeks to get 10 callers, I'm going to take all of those 10 callers. I know who you are because in order to call into the show, you have to have an account with Bidchat. So I'm going to remember who you are, make a list, and I'm going to draw a name on the show. So once I get to 10, that's not very many. You've got a good chance of winning. I'm going to personally mail you a t-shirt, and I'll show you the t-shirt next week. Or actually, if you go onto Instagram and search for the Break for Moms, at the Break for Moms, you will see that t-shirt in my Instagram feed within the pictures that I have within the profile. So it's also on the blog. So go to www.breakformoms.com. That's the official show blog. And there is a tab on the main menu. And one of the items on that main menu is contests and giveaways. And if you click on that, you'll see that t-shirt. I took a picture of it and posted it there because I am also doing a giveaway so that once I get 100 subscribers to the blog, I'm going to give one lucky subscriber, and out of that 100, the t-shirt. And I'm going to personally mail it to you. So one lucky interactor from each category, the blog, and calling into the show will win a t-shirt. So I look forward to that. It may take a little while because not having as much interaction as I would like. Bidchat is growing by leaps and bounds, and I know there have been some technical issues in the past. So if you're trying to call into the show and you're having a hard time, relax. You're probably doing everything right, and it may just be a connection issue with the website or with the app today. Know that as far as calling in, though, right now you have to use the Bidchat app. So if you're trying to call in from the website, I don't think it's working right now. I don't even think it gives you the option to call in. So don't try calling from the website. download the Bidchat app if you haven't already. It's free to do. And become an official follower of the show. If you're watching the show right now, you see there are a couple icons. One of them is a thumbs up to say that you like what you're seeing, and that's awesome if you can give me a like. The other one is a heart. And when you click on that heart, I believe it's down at the bottom, when you click on that heart, you become an official follower of the show. And once you're an official follower through the Bidchat app, you can actually message me privately within the app. So if you want to send me a message, just say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm a mom from Washington, D.C., or I'm a mom from San Diego, or, wherever you're from, just say hi to me. I would love to hear from you. That would seriously make my entire day, because if I'm not interacting with other moms, then I'm missing out on half of the benefit of this show. That's my main goal. I want to actually interact with you. I don't want to just talk to you. That's kind of boring. I mean, I like to talk, and hopefully, you're finding what I'm saying interesting, but I really want to interact with you. It's so important that you call into the show. I want people to see you and say, wow, look at that mom. She's having a similar experience. Or, wow, that mom had a really good tip when she called in. Or, wow, that was really interesting that this mom had a different point of view on what Nicole was saying. So keep that in mind. You are important. You are a big part of the show. So without you, the show can't really happen, at least not the way I want it to happen. So keep that in mind. It is 1:52 Detroit time, Eastern time. So I am going to be mindful of the other shows that are on Bidchat. So I have to conclude the program in 8 minutes. So Maria, if that's you calling in, I see somebody calling in again. If that's you, thanks for trying again to call back in. If it's not, if it's somebody else and you're struggling to call in, keep trying. And if not, try again next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's 10 a.m. on the West Coast. And we're going to continue this discussion throughout this month on New Year's resolutions and improving your family. Last week we talked about more general tips about New Year's resolutions as a mom and as a parent, about getting your kids to be more organized and getting them involved in your New Year's resolutions, and talking about different activities that you can do and incorporate them with your kids, doing chores with your kids, exercising with your kids. It was more generic, not specifically about health. But just a variety of topics. So today's topic, if you're just catching the tail end of the show today, has been about health tips, getting healthy as a mom for the new year and helping your kids to be healthier. And I talked about 4 main things. I'm going to just give a quick recap in case you're just tuning in, because there are many of you just tuning in now, which is okay. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you caught even a little bit, because that means hopefully you'll be back next week. So we talked about not overscheduling as both a mom and for your kids. You don't want to overschedule your kids just as much as you don't want to overschedule yourself. It's important for you to say no for your kids. You don't have to have your kids in every single activity that your school offers. They need downtime just as much as you do. And maybe make it a goal that your me time is every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time if you're on the West Coast, to watch this show. Maybe that's your goal for the new year, to just take 1 hour to connect with me, another mom, and hopefully other moms that will call into the show, to connect with me and connect on social media with me and just talk back and forth. I would love to build new friendships with moms across the globe, and you can be a part of that. And I think it would positively impact your life as a mom as well. So consider that. That's an easy way to, check off that resolution by giving yourself more me time. Carve out time, put it in your planner. You're going to watch the show every Monday at 1 p.m. And it's time for you to breathe. Believe it or not, even though I feel like I'm working and I'm talking on the show, I still feel like I'm getting a break, because you don't see kids running in the background right now. If you have a minute after the show, I left a little clip from this weekend. I just wanted to come on Bidchat in the evening just to kind of see who was out on Bidchat and talk with my kids and just have them on the video with me to see, I like to sometimes practice with my kids to see if maybe I could have them on for a whole show. It definitely isn't going to work for a while, because my kids are very, very active little kids. Anyhow, you'll see that in the video. So if you think I've got this perfect organized life with kids that just sit and don't say anything, that is wrong. It couldn't be further from the truth. Watch the second most recent video besides this one that'll be in the archives under full broadcast, and it's only like 3 minutes long. And it's me sitting in the evening with my kids on a chair next to me, and they're being so silly and goofy. You can tell I can barely stay composed when I'm trying to talk and just kind of give a little quick commercial about the show. And it's just funny, because that's what real life is like with kids. It doesn't always go the way we want it to go. So keep that in mind for the new year. And please take care of yourself as a mom. Take care of your kids. Allow them to have rest time to just be. Secondly, in terms of health, I'm going to talk in reverse here. Let's talk about your kids first now. Getting your kids to eat more fruits and vegetables. Here's an easy tip for you. Smoothies. Blend fruits and vegetables in smoothies. And kefir. Probiotics is all the rage right now, but you don't have to spend $50 on expensive probiotic pills. Kefir is very inexpensive, and you can buy it. I shop at Costco, and I get a whole container of these. There's 3 different flavors in the Costco pack, and I think there's at least 18 of them, maybe even more. I don't remember. But there's 12 different strains, and it says it right on the back. Kefir is spelled Kefir. Anyhow, it's one of those random things that a lot of people have not heard of, and it's good for overall health. So don't worry about diets right now. Just think about what you can add to your life to make yourself healthier. This isn't about taking things away. Just add some healthy things, okay? Add, or maybe don't add in terms of your schedule. Don't add so much this year. But kefir, add probiotics, okay? Fruits and vegetables for your kids. We talked about in smoothies. And also, one tip I had, this is just totally random, but dicing up zucchini or another vegetable that it has a large water compound. You can cook it in with beef or any other item that you could just cook it into and kind of mix together, and kids don't see it. They don't know it's there necessarily. They don't really taste it. Zucchini is so, when you mix it with other things, it kind of takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it with. And that's a quick little easy way. You could do the same with squash or any other high water content vegetable and just kind of mix it in with what you're making. And you don't have to hide it from your kids. You can tell them it's in there. But I feel like sometimes if my kids just don't see it, they'll eat it. Sometimes just they get scared when they see too many colors in their food. Don't ask me why, but even telling them but not letting them see it necessarily can be good. But when it comes to smoothies, my kids see me put handfuls and handfuls of spinach into our smoothies in the blender, and they still drink it. And it's bright green, let me tell you. They still eat it because it tastes good with the fruit. And I put kefir in mine. So there's a way to double dip on health foods. So it's not about taking things away from your kids. Just focus on adding some healthy things. And then the rest isn't such a big deal. You know, it's all moderation. Anyhow, okay. So we talked about diet a little bit. And you can do the same for yourself with kefir and smoothies. It's good for parents as well. And talked about not overscheduling. How about exercise? Talked about exercise, and not so much for the lose weight, healthy body image, but also for your mental health. Exercise is so important. And I stopped exercising for a really long time because I felt like I didn't have time to exercise. And it just felt like it wasn't a priority. I had laundry to do, dishes to do, diapers to change. But I'm adding that back in this year. Not because I need to lose weight, I'm very petite naturally, but because I needed it mentally. And that's another type of me time activity. But your kids can do it with you. You can incorporate your kids if they're older. I have a basement that's not finished, but I have a bike down there. My husband has a treadmill, so we can be on that while our kids are on there. I have a little mini kids trampoline. You can put bikes and trikes in your basement if you have a big area, or your basement is unfinished and there's not a whole lot in there. There's so many ways that you can incorporate exercise with your whole family. It doesn't have to be about losing weight. It doesn't have to be about hours and hours. You don't even have to pay any money. Just walk outside, or if you're in a cold environment, do something in the basement. Have a dance party in your kitchen. It doesn't have to be anything difficult or hard or something that's going to make you exhausted. Just add anything. Any little bit helps. And it helps with your mood and your overall health in general. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then I talked about water. Okay, water's a big trend. Hydrating, getting your 8 glasses of water, right? Well, you know, if you don't get 8 glasses of water per se, but you're drinking liquids all day, there are times where it's more valuable to drink water than others. That would be first thing in the morning. And I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on any of these things, but for your general health and getting your bowels moving and digestion, drink a full glass in the morning. I do that every morning. Full glass of water, first thing in the morning. And then right before you go to bed, big glass of water, at least one. Sometimes I down 2 big glasses of water before I go to bed. I know that's not a good idea for kids because they may have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but at least for adults, and sometimes I do have to get up in the middle of the night, but I don't sleep good anyways because my youngest wakes up crying a lot. But water at night is good for digestion. Think about it. When you go to bed, your body is repairing itself in the middle of the night. That's why we call it rest, right? While your body is resting, it is recuperating and regenerating. So adding water is just making everything work even better. Okay, the first thing in the morning before you start your day means you're jump starting your metabolism. You're helping with fiber in your bowels to get going. All that. I don't want to, get into too much. I'm not a doctor, but I know for a fact that these are tried and true things that help, and they will add to your life and your overall well-being in the new year. So keep them in mind. Those are just my 4 tips that I am sticking by this year. They're easy to do. They don't cost you any money. Water is free. You don't have to buy bottled water. I have one by me that's bottled just because I had it earlier today. But it doesn't have to be bottled water. Fruits and vegetables don't have to be organic. If you add anything, it's better than nothing. You don't have to spend a ton of money. Exercise doesn't have to cost anything either. You go right outside your door or have a dance party in your home. Okay. You don't have to, I don't belong to a gym. Just keep it simple. Okay. And with that, it is 2:01. I am 1 minute over. And oh my goodness, I don't know if this is, what's the word? If this is a coincidence, but it's 2:01 and we have 200 viewers. Yay. So we beat a record together. I am so excited that you joined me today. I hope you learned a few things and I hope you'll share them with your friends. Tell them about the show. I will see you next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much for taking a break from your routine and sticking with me and learning a little bit about my life. And I hope to meet you soon across social media. Just search for The Break for Moms and check out the blog too, so you can share the archived video with your friends and family. www.thebreakformoms.com. See you next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great week, and again, Happy New Year.